जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदा जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा 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 जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन ब्यूटी फाउंडर आचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन गुरु वृंद की जय। श्री गुरु परंपरा की जय। ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। So we'll continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 6, Purusha Sukta, confirmed verse number 32 onwards. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srijami tannik yukto aham. हरो हरति तद्वाशः विश्वं पुरुषरूपेण परिपाति त्रिशक्तिधृक् सृजामि तन्युक्तोऽहम् हरो हरति तद्वाशः Vishvam Purusha Rupena Paripati Trishakti Drik Srijami Tanniyuktoham Haro Harati Tadvashaha Vishvam Purusha Rupena Paripati Trishakti Drik. Yeah. Srijami Tanniyuktoham Haro Harati Tadvashaha Vishvam Purusha Rupena Paripati Trishakti De. Srijami Tanniyuktoham Haro Harati Tadvashaha Vishvam Purusha Rupena Paripati Trishakti Dre. Srijami Tanniyuktoham Haro Harati Tadvashaha Vishvam Purusha Rupena Paripati Trishakti Dre. Srijami, do create, Tad, by his, Niyukta, appointment, Aham, I, Haraha, Lord Shiva, Harati, destroys, Tadvasha, under his subordination, Vishwam, the whole universe, Purusha, the personality of Godhead, Rupena, by his eternal form, Paripati, maintains, Trishakti Drik, the controller of three energies. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. By his will, I create, Lord Shiva destroys, and he himself, in his eternal form as the personality of Godhead, maintains everything. He is the powerful controller of these three energies. So again, very clearly Brahmaji is saying that actually by his will, so by Krishna's will, he creates, Lord Shiva destroys, and then Vishnu is directly maintaining. The conception of one without a second is clearly confirmed here. The one is Lord Vasudeva, and only by his different energies and expansions are different manifestations, both in the material and in the spiritual worlds maintained. In the material world also, Lord Vasudeva is everything, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 7:19, Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. Everything is Vasudeva only. In the Vedic hymns also, the same Vasudeva is held to be supreme. It is said in the Vedas, Vasudevat paro brahman na chanyarthosti tattvataha. In fact, there is no greater truth than Vasudeva. And Lord Krishna affirms the same truth in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 7, Mataha parataran nanyat. There is nothing above me, Lord Krishna. So the conception of oneness is overly stressed by the impersonalist, is also accepted by the personalist devotee of the Lord. The difference is that the impersonalist denies personality is in the ultimate issue, whereas the devotee gives more importance to the personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam explains this truth in the verse under discussion. Lord Vasudeva is one without a second. But because he is all-powerful, he can expand himself as well as display his omnipotencies. The Lord is described here as omnipotent by three energies, three Shakti Dhrik. So, primarily, his three energies are internal, marginal, and external. This external energy is also displayed in the three modes of passion, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Similarly, the internal potency is also displayed in three spiritual modes, Samvid, Sandhini, and Ladini. The marginal potency or the living entities is also spiritual, Prakritim Vidhi Me Param. But the living entities are never equal to the Lord. The Lord is Nirasta Samya Atishaya. In other words, no one is greater than or equal to the Supreme Lord. So the living entities, including even such great personalities as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, are all subordinate to the Lord. In the material world, in his eternal form of Vishnu, he maintains and controls all the affairs of the demigods, including Brahma and Shiva. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Rama Krishna Goswamiti Namine. So, Prabhupada ji समझाए है कि essence of the verse है कि people also believe and follow about oneness, ना कि भगवान एक है और निराकार ब्रह्मवादी लोग भी समझे है कि लोगों के अंडरस्टैंडिंग है कि एट द एंड ऑफ एवरीथिंग वी ऑल मर्ज विद दैट वन सुप्रीम. द ओनली डिफरेंस इज उन लोगों के कॉन्सेप्शन है सुप्रीम डज नॉट हैव फॉर्म एंड डिवोटीज दे अंडरस्टैंड दैट कृष्णा हैज पर्सनालिटी. और बोनाफाइड रीजन है व्हाई दे बिलीव कि फॉर्म है और ट्रूथ है व्हाई फॉर्म है, क्योंकि ब्रह्मा जी, जैसे कल हम लोग बता रहे कि ब्रह्मा जी इज द फर्स्ट क्रिएटेड बीइंग, सो इज द फर्स्ट नो ऑफ द वेदर्स. और ब्रह्मा जी के फर्स्ट प्रेया है ईश्वरा परमा कृष्णा सच्चित आनंद विग्रह. सो नंबर वन इज सेइंग दैट कृष्णा इज द सुप्रीम. सो देयर आर मेनी गॉड्स, ईश्वरस, देयर आर मेनी ईश्वरस, बट परम ईश्वर इज कृष्णा. एंड देन सच्चिदानंद विग्रह. देन सेकंड स्टेटमेंट इज बट हिज फॉर्म इज beyond material modes, or beyond material conception, or beyond material elements. So his form is not made out of material elements like earth, water, fire, sky. His form is Satchit Anand. Then he's saying, Anadir Adir Govinda. So everything in this world has a cause. So there's cause for everything, anything and everything is happening, so there's a cause. This is the Karan, something has happened. Sometimes, somebody gets upset, somebody is very angry, so we want to know what's the cause. This thing happened, what's the cause? So Brahmaji is saying, Anadir Adir Govinda. He is the beginning and he's the beginning. Sarva Karana Karana. So he's the cause of all the causes. So, just as I said yesterday, yes, we all believe in the same, but we are only presenting different perspectives. We are looking at from different sides. Somebody is looking from up, down, below, the 10 directions. So then people create different concepts. So Prabhupada has very nicely clarified that actually there is so much reference. You go to Bhagavad Gita, you go to the Vedas, Vedic hymns, Vasudevat Paro Brahman, Na Chanyarthosti Tatvataha. By Tattva, even if they are saying Vasudeva means, he's present everywhere, omnipresent. हिंदी में हम लोग बोलेंगे सब जगह वास करने वाला है, Vasudev. So the Mayavadis, they also understand that. So we are all referring to the same subject or object, but through different means. So it's a very simple way to reconcile that God is one and we are all differently engaged on the same path. However, the devotees are on the highest platform because they recognize the personality, they can see the personality of Godhead, and they can interact. Krishna, Prabhupada is saying, the form allows us to interact, adan pradan. We say when Krishna reciprocates. Then the second part of the paragraph, Prabhupada is saying, explaining that Bhagavatam explains that there is no, Vasudeva is one without a second. So Krishna is one without a second. There is no second God. There is no second God. Absolutely no. And there are many, then also whatever is manifested as others. So then Prabhupada is explaining the others are manifestations of Krishna's energy, yes, external energy. So here we can see in today's purport that how many types of energy is there? So three, external, internal, of course, external, internal, and then marginal, yes. So three that way, and then three subdivided or subcategorized into two into another three. So internal is another three, and then external is another three. So 3, 3, 6, and marginal. So the 6 becomes what? The 6 becomes the playground for the marginal. The 6 becomes the हम लोग यहाँ मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में हो जानता है मल्टीपल चॉइस में A, B, C और D रे यहाँ पे E भी रहे कभी कभी लेकिन 6 नहीं जावे Krishna is again simple logic. Krishna is proven he is the supreme. तो 6 choices रहे हैं 6 रकम से the living entity is situated Prakritim Vidhi Me Param. So the living entity is never equal to the Lord. Just like this morning we were reciting the 10 offenses. No? So the second offense is to consider names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of. So today's verse is basically addressing this. Everything else is not independent of Krishna nor equal to Krishna. No? So this is a constant reminder. And we can here also see, one may say, there's a mention of Brahma and Shiva and not the other demigods. But if you, we all understand, Brahma and Shiva are the leaders of the demigods. Although the king is Indra, he is the king of heaven, but Mahadeva is Lord Shiva. And Brahma comes into the picture because he is the creator. Some people are saying, there are Shiva temples, why is there not Brahma temples? Bhagavatam is giving so much evidence comes from Brahma. He is the first created being. But why is there not established Brahma temples all over the world? Huh? Brahma was cursed by Lord Shiva. Yeah. Huh? Huh? He never says he's God. He is the first one, so he realizes, and that actually worshipper is everyone else. But people still worship. The demons, they still go to him. The demons still go to him. Hiranyakashipu went to him. So they realize he's the first created being, and therefore he's the actually all the. Jaram Prabhu is giving mathematical logic because Hiranyakashipu worshipped him, so nobody else wants to worship. Bhagavatam describes that, in the process of creation, Brahmaji also created the first female expansion, which by creation would become his daughter. So Brahmaji was his daughter, Brahmaji's daughter. But Brahmaji himself, when he created the first woman, then Brahmaji became illusioned, attracted to his own daughter. So if you see, in the way the whole creation is done, the whole creation, how, everything is perverted. So today, we think, why is these things happening in this world? This is the history of material existence. All this nonsense have always been happening. But when this happened to Brahmaji, and that's where the story comes, when Brahmaji was actually running after his own daughter, then the Marus, right, they laughed at, Ashwini Kumaras, the demigods, they laughed at it, They say, you are such a knowledgeable person, you did the re-engineering and everything, and you fall illusion. So Acharya said, this is also an example that how alert we have to be in the material world. In the last snare of Maya, Maya can pull you down anytime. This is how. When really actually, when desire becomes so concentrated, it's saturated, that's what we say, it's lust. When the desire is so concentrated and saturated, actually it just overrides even intelligence. Then you just don't know what you are doing. So this is just beginning of the creation. अभी तो पूरा creation के चमक चांदनी दिखान नहीं है. ब्रह्मा जी फर्स्ट में आउट हो गए. फर्स्ट बॉलिंग में ब्रह्मा जी आउट हो गए. So then Brahmaji was very ashamed. And again we learn from this material world, everyone will make mistakes, but greatness lies in correcting the mistake. So we say Krishna is saying, Sarvadharman Paritaja, even if you have done so many other things, but once you have decided that you will take shelter and, reawaken your love and, rehabilitate yourself, then Krishna is prepared to forgive you.
When somebody falls down, anybody falls down, it's not a big deal. We should not write him off. We can get him back.
Yeah. Every time.
Sometimes it happens, somebody falls down or a boy, we say, oh, he's hopeless. I wish not to do this. Because this place is like that.
It is diseased. Yeah, this place is diseased. Just like, you people are doctors, you go to the hospital, who comes to you? Only sick people come to you. Good people don't come to you. So,
just like a child falls down, then you don't write him for you. Keep up again. And slowly he'll walk. Start walking.
And during the journey, that's a very good example. Prabhupada actually quotes it in different purport. That when a child is learning to walk, then what happens is, they fall. So they are holding and trying to get up, but sometimes they fall. But we don't start saying, no, you have fallen, you can't walk. And, I said, nahi. So Krishna consciousness is like this. So everyone, sometimes when I get reminded, I get reminded, one time there was a devotee, he was in the temple, staying in the temple, Prabhupada's time. And then, so all the devotees were complaining about him, that he's not nice, this, that, And then Prabhupada said, no, just leave him. And then after some time, the person ran away from the temple. So for the devotees, they were like, Prabhupada, see, we told you. We were telling you, Prabhupada, that he will not last. Then Prabhupada's response was, I had to give him a chance. I have to give a chance. Prabhupada, I knew that he will not stay long. He will not be able to survive. Then that reminds me, when I say he's not able to swear, that reminds me, there was once a prisoner person, offender, was doing something wrong. So the police was looking after this guy. So they caught him in America. In America, Australia, somewhere. So they caught him, and he ran away from the police. So he ran away from the police, and he wanted to hide somewhere, take some shelter. So he went to the Hare Krishna temple. And said to the temple, I want to join the temple. So and those days, like the temples are, open arms, come join, because we want everyone to become devotees. Everyone is just so During Prabhupada's time, everyone is, everyone is completely obsessed. Krishna is the jewel of life, and we want to give Krishna to everyone, and anyone and everyone will make devotees. This was the obsession. So the devotees, they welcome him, and then the other people said, some people gave, this person, the temple president said, okay, you can stay, but you'll have to shave up. You have to attend Mangalarti, attend the Bhagavatam class. If you don't attend the Bhagavatam class, no prasadam. So this guy is running away from the police. He said, okay, I'm happy to do. Then some other devotee saw him in the temple. He said, no, he's and vegetarian and everything. So and then someone saw in the temple, went to the temple president and said, no, don't give him shelter, he's a criminal. So the temple president said, okay, no, just if he wants to, just give him a chance. Prabhupada said, give him a chance. So then this guy was here for a week. Then the police got the information that this guy has joined the Hare Krishna. So they wanted to come and catch him. So said the time he is there is 4 a.m. in the morning. That's the time he comes to the temple and we can catch him. So these police people, they did intel on him. They did intel on him. They found out that he wakes up at 4 a.m. in the morning. Those Prabhupada days, no garam pani, cold showers. Then you have to go and stand in front of the temple deities. Then there's kirtans going on. Then you have to jump up and down in the kirtan. Then after the kirtan, you have to sit with everyone and then do some buzzing, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama. And that's for like 1 hour you have to do that. After 1 hour, then, the leader sits up and, gives a sermon, and then people have to sit through it. People are sleeping, but they have to sit through the sermon. Then, darshan opens, then again, the song played and everyone is there jumping up and down. And usually after darshan there's some kirtan, So all that happens, and then they get to eat. So then, after they observe everything, they ask the policeman, here's the guy, you can take him. So the policeman said, there's no punishment more difficult than that he can go through. So you better live here. In the jail, there'll be human rights, you get meal and accommodation and everything. The amount of austerity is going here, undergoing here. That's the most difficult punishment you can get. So it is just a humorous story, one devotee told us. But the point is, this is austerity. This is not punishment. This is austerity. And austerity brings purification. All the time, austerity. Like we are students, we perform austerity. As students, we perform austerity. We sacrifice our parents, don't play, you can play later, but now it's time to study. It's like, yesterday Krishna Balaram wants to watch cartoon and we are saying, no, you haven't completed your work in the school. I said, why didn't you complete? He said, others were talking to me. I said, you don't have to talk to them. He said, I was not talking. They were talking to me, so I couldn't complete my work. So the point is, everything, Maya is going to distract us. That's the job. We are saying, just like somebody is worshipping the deity. I am speaking the Bhagavatam. You are listening, you are chanting, you are cooking, you are doing some service. That's your service. Maya Devi's service is, Durga Devi's service is to create obstacles. Our life, our spiritual life, our material life is not like a sprint or like a track event, long track event. Our life is like what? Like, what's that you call that, where there's hurdles, you have to jump up and come down? What's that? It's a roller coaster. In a track event, you do that, what do they call that? Hurdles, Hurdles, yeah, hurdles event. It's not only relay, also we have to, generation after generation, like relay, we pass the baton. Now I have done eating, sleeping, mating and defending, now son you do that. Now grandson you do it, and everyone is holding the baton and keep running, keep running. And unfortunately there is no finish line. So just keep going. So life is meant to be like that. And in the material world it is like that. Prabhupada didn't have an easy life. Prabhupada continued to have hurdles. Just recently, I'm sure social media makes it so, communication so easy. Recently we must have heard about Indradyumna Swami Maharaj, how he was detained by the Russian immigration. And Maharaj was doing a program. So this is what's going to happen. I'm sometimes thinking, Fiji is such a nice place, freedom for everything. But the last time in the Fiji festival, we wanted to do Rath Yatra, everything's on road, everyone's ready, we keep chanting Kirtan, everything. Yet, stopped. So we're going to expect more of these things to happen. Prasadam distributions and all these things will happen. People will stop. Why? Because Kali Yuga is going to progress. Kali Yuga progress means what? What's in essence we understand by progress of Kali Yuga? Irreligiosity. That is, Krishna consciousness will be discouraged. Krishna consciousness will be discouraged. And that's what's basically happening. If the government says that, okay, we don't want religion to be, we should be religion neutral. The kava is, it's everyone's free will. Therefore, we don't want imposition. Education is being termed as imposition. Discussing about different religious paths, knowledge about God being presented in different ways, it's not an imposition. It's education. It's spiritual education. Just like, Jivanath Prabhu goes to different schools, gives a snippet of, Krishna consciousness, what are the purpose of life, what's the ultimate salvation and all those kind of things. So generally, you're teaching Hare Krishnas, you're teaching your religion. It's a presentation of knowledge. Albert Einstein, Newton and everything, whatever they discovered, they shared, and the whole world is taking it up as education. So why isn't what Vyasadeva, what Brahmaji discovered? He was born, he had no knowledge what to do, he engaged in tapasya, he pleased the Supreme Personality of God. They had someone to give knowledge. That's like science today is built on what? Knowledge of Newton, Einstein, all these people, Darwin's discovery and all those things. So there's someone who's given and then that has become knowledge. So here Brahmaji has given, and whatever, which one of the scientists was he was having a shower in the bathtub and the idea about the bulb clicked and he just ran out of the shower onto the street to his left there's a story like that. I am not a science student, but some guys I don't know, it was Isaac Newton or someone, one who created the bulb. Or, yeah, so something like that. So it's like, Brahmaji also, he was born, he had no idea. So he only heard the sound vibration. Sound vibration. That sound vibration of Krishna. Krishna's guidance. So hearing the scriptures is a sound vibration, it's the word of God. I like the expression, how Christians say, we follow the word of God. Word of God refers to the sound vibration. What is the word? And in our Vedic system, Vedic scriptures, then they say, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, I am the sound vibration. Oh. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. So that sound vibration that happens, then we sit in meditation and say, oh. So just like that. So Krishna is the beginning of everything. So Brahmaji is very nicely explaining here. And I think, I also, when I read this translation, by his will I create, Lord Shiva destroys, and he himself, in his eternal form as the personality of Godhead, maintains everything. He is the powerful controller of these three energies. I know, what's your feel? I think, there's complete clarity. In my mind, I don't see how we can then say, this God, that God, demigod, this, that, and so much things have to happen. Just No resolutions, but simply fighting. No, this is right, this process is right, that process is. And I'm just, for a moment, I'm just mesmerized by this fact that it is so clean and clear here, and yet the whole world is complicated. The whole world is. Huh?
The word purpose itself, right, emphasizes it.
Yes. So sometimes I'm just understanding, the other day somebody met me and they said, I go to that temple because, there is such and such Panditji, he's very learned. He, and I was told he's a PhD in the scriptures. Now reading today, I'm not a PhD, but just reading Prabhupada's words. Eh? Who awarded the PhD? But just from simple perspective, if somebody like when somebody becomes a PhD in the education field, it's like, it's the epitome of education, it's the highest level. Basically, you say you're a professor, you know everything, you're Brahma, in that field. So if you are saying, that you have a religious studies PhD, or, PhD in Sanskrit, or yeah, Prabhupada makes everyone PhD. You just have to become permanent Hare Krishna devotee. So all the devotees can now start writing PhD in there. So the point is, I'm saying, this is so simple. Bhagavatam is so simple. So if somebody really has got a PhD in religious studies, and you don't understand the word of Bhagavatam, then, if a PhD is in complete doubt, I just feel sorry for ordinary like you and I. What do we? Yes. Yeah. That's the missing element. Why there is so many path and everything is because there is lack of bhakti. Actually, every other version of religion that we are seeing is not bhakti, it's all business, People are only materially motivated. That's why, even in the Char Purushartham, the 4 Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kam and Moksha, the problem with the 4 Purusharthas is the basis of Dharma, the starting Dharma is, really targeted to fulfilling Artha, yes. Dharma, Artha. And why we need Artha? To fulfill the Kama. So basically everyone conducts life, Dharma, Artha, Kama. And when you drop dead, then you want moksha. Not having done anything about the moksha. Somebody comes and recites the Gita. Or somebody is dying, then you say, no, please recite the Gita. But Krishna is very kind. Krishna is very kind. बोले अच्छा मरते मरते भी सुन लो तो भी उद्धार कर देगा लेकिन सुन तो लो. The other day, one person passed away, I came to know. And I said, okay, we'll organize a program to do Gita. Then, last one day, he just completely shut down. He went into coma. It's completely shut down. He doesn't recognize his eyes is open. He can't hear, nothing like that. Then everyone is reciting Gita into the ears. The scriptures say that once you go into coma, that's your antakale. That's the last thought you have had. So, when the Gita is being recited, then everyone else should be seeing, how this guy has shut down, Before I shut down, I should study the Gita. Read the Gita. Yeah. So it is so, it's just every day I'm reading Bhagavatam, every verse, I'm just amazed and it's that what more clarity can we expect? And it just gives you further conviction how the pure devotees are simply engaged in loving Krishna and they have no time to love anyone else or anything else or do anything else because this is so clean and clear. It's just like, pure nectar. Then you get, this purified cane sugar, that's the nectar. Why do you need anything else? That's why it is saying.
The listeners are not qualified.
Huh?
Clarity is there, but the listeners are not qualified.
The listeners are not qualified.
They are in the mode of raw modes.
Yeah. So you cannot just like, the other day, I was hearing, I think Gauranga Darshan Prabhu was giving an example, it just comes to my mind now, that yes, we are not purified, and then, but the pure devotee is just like a magnet. Even though iron rod may be rusted, it can still attract. But the problem with a rusted iron rod is there, because of the contamination, it might not be able to hold for long. It might fall off. No? You can you might be able to pull it, even you might be able to lift it, but you cannot completely hang it in there, it'll fall because of the rust it has. So similarly, the point that when we are, that's why many times I have mentioned this. The only difference that the Hare Krishna devotees may speedy progress can happen because we avoid the contaminations. The four regulative principles. That's why four regulative Prabhupada did not compromise on not following the four regulative principles. Once you do that, then. And then Gauranga Darshan Prabhu was also giving the point that you attract by magnet, so you attract this by magnet, so this already cling to the magnet, then you can lift another thing with that, because the one that's connected has also become magnetic. But as soon as the magnet is pulled out, then both will fall down. So Prabhupada never got away from that. The problem with ordinary yogis and sadhus and all these things is that when you reach the stage of being able to, so you are the iron rod, by Krishna's connection you have become magnetic. Now you can pull others as well. The problem becomes when the first person who has become magnetic starts thinking that I am magnet. And therefore he disconnects from the real magnet, then everything falls. And that's the state of religious organizations or religious belief systems, because the founder or the main head or the head of the organization, then gradually comes to the stage of believing that actually I am God. And how does the person starts believing I am God? How does it begin? Yeah, you're thinking I'm the spirit, but how does this thing? Sometimes even amongst the devotees it has happened. They started all good, they understood the philosophy, everything was nice, they know I'm the servant of Krishna. Huh? Huh?
Ego, false ego.
But false ego sometimes can be created over people. Actually, this problem starts by followers. The followers start giving, they say, you are Bhagavan. And then the illusion person starts thinking, I am Bhagavan. Prabhupada never said. Once Prabhupada was in America and the disciples started saying, the white people, they never saw how, Americans, they never saw how Puri works. When Prabhupada fried the Puri, they said Prabhupada had magical hands. You put the flour in the oil, it puffs up. So then, during like this, some devotees start saying, Prabhupada is actually God. Prabhupada was very upset. Prabhupada decided to close the movement and go back to India. Prabhupada said, this is not my purpose. I am always servant of God. So this is another thing that, distorts the teaching. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.